So in this video, I'm going to be talking about self-sabotage, and the title is Stop Sabotaging. So have you ever felt like you're watching yourself, like you're looking in on yourself, watching what you're doing, but not being able to stop what you're doing? You feel like perhaps someone else is doing it and you're kind of watching and you're aware of what you're doing. You don't really want to be doing it, but you're doing it anyway. It might be that you're watching just one more episode when really it's already late and you should be going to bed, or wandering downstairs to the kitchen again when you should be working, or eating a bag of crisps as you leave an exercise class. You kind of see what you're doing, but at the same time, it's more like you're a bit of an observer as well. And self-sabotage is when it's us and only us standing in the way of our goals. It can get really frustrating as you get close to a goal. You slowly see yourself start to perhaps undo some of the good work you've done, or make sure that you don't quite reach your goals. And it can get really frustrating because you're so close to achieving what you want, and then suddenly it seems to be far from grasp again. And I know that a lot of people experience this. They might hit a certain goal in terms of weight loss where they reach a point where they've not been before, but they just can't get past it, or they just can't get past somewhere where they've been before. And you often find that when people are getting close to their goal weight, as it were, that they struggle with that last little bit, and self-sabotage steps in. And it can have a knock-on effect on other areas of life too, making you feel a bit lethargic and apathetic and unable to fulfill your goals in life in other areas. Now, why do we do it? Why do we self-sabotage? Now, self-sabotage is quite different to something like emotional eating or craving. When you self-sabotage, there's not an emotional reason behind it. It can often happen in periods of boredom or tiredness, but it's not really driven by the emotion. It's just something that we do before we reach a goal that we've set. We do it because there are underlying beliefs going on that it won't make a difference anyway, what you're doing, or it won't work for you, or you doubt yourself, you doubt that you can get there, you doubt that you can ever get to bed in a sensible time, you doubt that you could ever not drink too much wine, or you doubt that you could ever lose weight or lose fat. And it comes down to doubting yourself and a lack of belief in yourself, but ultimately, that means a lack of belief in God and God's power in your life. Because we may feel like we're being humble and thinking, well, I can't really do that. But actually, you're limiting God by saying that. So how can you change it? What can you do? Well, you can get to grips with the truth of God's promises. So every promise in the Bible is a promise for you. Now, that might surprise some of you. You might think, well, it's not for me, it's for that Christian over there, or it's for that person who speaks on stage, or it's for my neighbor, or it's for my friend, but it's not for me. But every single promise in the Bible is for you. So we need to get to grips with that. And that's part of our journey, isn't it? Part of our relationship with God is getting to know the promises that He has made for us and taking them on board ourselves and claiming them for ourselves. And we need to recognize self-sabotage as a bit of an attack. Someone out there doesn't want us to reach our full potential. And so if we can be prepared for that attack, which will happen, then we'll be in a better place. So that might be having some Bible verses to hand. That might be having some worship songs that you sing at appropriate moments, or it might be prayer. But God has given us a great wealth of weapons that we can attack with. You also need to recognize areas where you've had previous successes in your life and where you have overcome, where you have achieved what you've wanted to achieve, and let that build up a picture of you being able to do these things, especially when you have God on your side. So what are your other successes in different areas and different fields of life? And then it's great if you can get some people alongside you, cheering you on, being your cheering squad and getting you past these obstacles and barriers in your way. And it can be really helpful to measure your progress so that you can see your improvement. You can see that you're going to bed a little bit earlier. You can see that actually you're getting healthier. And when you can see those things, reward yourself and recognize that you are getting closer to where you want to be. So it's more encouraging and more inspiring to carry on. But you need to be aware of that crunch point where you make a decision to go the other way and to sabotage and change that pathway. So what can you do when it comes to that crunch point, when you're going to stay up and watch another film, when you're going to grab that bag of crisps after you've been to the gym, when you're going to just give up with a healthy lifestyle, even though you've almost reached some of your goals? That's the important point. That's the crunch point. And you need to take on some different techniques at that point and consciously choose a different path. And then those different actions will get easier and you'll carry on towards your goals. So be aware of those bumps that are coming up that just stop you and encourage you to self-sabotage, and use God's power, God's promises, God's weapons of attack, cheerleaders, rewarding yourself, recognizing your successes in the past, rewarding yourself and giving yourself different techniques and practical things to do to get over those little bumps so that you can carry on forward to reach your goals. And once you move forward in this area and lessen the self-sabotage, you will be able to achieve far more in all areas of your life, and your attitude, your beliefs, and your mindset will change, and self-sabotage will become less of an issue. But it all starts from believing what God says about you and believing that the promises in the Bible are for you. Hope that's helpful. I'd love to know which areas you self-sabotage in and whether anything I've said has been helpful for you. Okay, take care, everyone. And I will speak to you very soon. Bye-bye.